I'm Alexis Santos, and my PowerPoint was on Rene Descartes. Okay, so his biography and background was he was born on March 31st of 1596 in La Haye in Tournai, Kingdom of France, and he had died February 11th of 1650 in Stockholm, Swedish Empire at age 53. He was a French philosopher, mathematician, and a scientist. And he was considered the father of modern Western philosophy. And he was credited the father of analytical geometry as well. He attended Jesuit College at La Flenche. I don't know how to pronounce that. And the University of Poitiers. At the age of 21, he joined the Dutch army, and 2 years later, he joined the Bavarian army. He was Catholic, but he also had other beliefs. There are more truths that can't be ascertained through authority of the church. And he usually said to have begun modern philosophy.
Okay, pause it.
Okay, and this is one of the quotes that was from the book. I will doubt everything that can possibly be doubted, and if anything is left, then it will be absolutely certain. Then I will consider what it is about this certainty, if there is one, and then that places it beyond doubt, and that will provide me with a criterion of truth and knowledge, a yardstick against which I am measured all other purported truths to see if they too are beyond doubt.
Okay, keep recording, guys. How much of your mind doubts everything? When someone says something, are we doubters? Okay,
Yes.
And that's his influence of Western culture. Number one, we're doubters, and number two, we want certainty. Okay, and what this does is it creates a situation where we lose the mystical.
What is that?
Mystical meaning that we don't see the world as magical as the way the ancient people saw it.
Okay.
There's
we want clarity.
certainty. We want things that are absolute truth.
But we
Like it's
can't get
80
to that,
degrees in here. We want that.
right? But that's why we always want.
Only philosophers, only you guys, when we train in philosophy, do we understand how difficult that is.
Mm-hmm.
But most people think that certainty is possible.
But it's not.
But it's not. Here, I'm training you guys.
So that's why we're always gonna want, but never find.
Right. And it's Descartes' influence that causes us to be doubters.
Yeah,
Right?
one of what he believed was that if you doubt, your doubt is what makes you certain that you are here, in the present, because he said I read in the book that he said that doubt is what makes you also here. You get me?
I get you. This is part real.
Yes,
Instead of saying,
it's what
I
makes
have
you
weight, I have mass, the doubting is an active thing of someone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Into metaphysics and epistemology, he wondered is to be the criterion of truth and knowledge in such matters. And then, what is to be the criterion by which one might separate certain knowledge about matters of fact from inferior products such as mere belief? Though he was vitally concerned with skeptical questions as the possibility of knowledge, he was no skeptic. To doubt every proposition that he possibly could, Descartes employed two famous conjunctures, the dream conjuncture and the evil demon conjuncture. So what the dream conjuncture was that how does he know that he's really here? He does, for all we know, we could be dreaming right now. He may pinch himself, and he may feel it, or we may feel it, but we could be pinching ourselves in our dream. What if we're pinching ourselves in our dream? And for the evil demon conjuncture that he also believed in, it was...
Well, he brought up.
Huh?
He brought up the evil demon.
Yes, he brought up the evil demon conjuncture, that an evil demon is what is taking over the reality, is what's making him seem what reality is to the demon, but it's not really what the reality is. Do you guys understand?
So this is a thought experiment. What if there's an evil demon or programmer who's made the world in such a way that makes us think that we exist, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
He was looking for a measure of certainty that escapes even the most bizarre possibilities of falsehood. So, yeah, what he brought up, the dream conjunction, the evil demon conjunction, it's probably the most craziest things that, like, you could think of. Like, it's, like, weird. Why would he think of something like that? But he was trying to create anything that can make it possible of falsehood. He was trying to prove the falsehood. And one of his quotes was, "I think, therefore I am." And in another language, it was "Cogitos ergo sum." So, like, I think, therefore I am, which means, like, I'm thinking, I'm doubting, therefore I am. Like, because I can doubt, I am certain that I am here.
Put your phones away, please. I need you focused.
He discovered in the certainty of his own existence an essential characteristic of certain truth. Anything that was as clear and distinct as his own existence would pass the Littum test, and would also have to be certain.
So from here on out, our truths, we want certainty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And to this very day, we still have that as a whole, as a culture.
Yeah.
Okay, in this class, we want to break that down. I make fun of I think, therefore I am. I say, I stink, therefore I am. We know you're here because you smell.
And
You're
another
a teenager, you smell. Anyway.
And another thing that he had said was, "Whatever I perceive clearly and distinctly is certain." So this goes on to...
So what's the big deal, guys? How is he arriving to this? Is he using measurements? Is he using metaphysical dialogue like Socrates? Or is he using thoughts, and rational thinking? So from here, not only are we going to want certainty, but he's going to bring up the point that certainty is acquired through rational thinking.
So you have to be a thinker to be certain.
Right. Or no, you have to use thinking. So thinking's a tool to find certainty. So if you want to find a point in space, you have to use math, right? X, Y, Z coordinates.
Yes.
And can you be certain?
No.
Yeah, you can.
Oh.
X, Y, Z. If we map out this,
right.
if we map out this room, can we find where the X, Y coordinates of this computer is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So by using math, which is a sort of thinking logic, we can find certainty.
Mm-hmm.
Do you make sense?
Yeah,
April?
it makes sense.
Okay. So Western culture is going to like math and rational thinking. Go ahead.
So, using the clear and distinct criteria of what he had said, whatever I perceive clearly and distinctly is certain, Descartes found to his own satisfaction that he could regard as certain much of what he had initially had cause to doubt. This doubt methodology was like geometry, like you said, it was like a math problem, in which a theorem, whose truth initially only seems true, is demonstrated as absolutely certain by deducing it from basic axioms by meaning of rules of logic. So, like, Descartes was the axiom was in effect, which goes on to back.
Hold
We
on.
can have Alexis Santos Hernandez to the front office, please.
Is it an emergency?
Coach needs her real quick.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pause it.
So his rule of logic was which goes to whatever I perceive clearly and distinct is certain. And another quote is, "I am certain that I am a thing that thinks, but do I not then likewise know what is required to make me certain of a truth? In this knowledge of my existence as a thinking thing, there is nothing that assures me of its truth, excepting the clear and distinct perception of that which I state, which would not indeed suffice to assure me that what I say is true. If it could ever happen that a thing that I consider so clearly and distinctly could be false, and accordingly it seems to me that I can establish as a general rule that all things that I perceive very clear and very distinct are true." After Democritus, and largely because of him, modern philosophy has attached considerable importance to epistemology and metaphysics. Inquiring is often conducted via the epistemological detour.
What does that mean?
Okay, so Democritus, when I had touched up on the part where the metaphysical dualism that became philosophy and the modern philosophy today, it goes on to the metaphysical issues that he had brought up. And so when he was saying that he was wondering what is the basic stuff, or what does reality consist of, Democritus took indirect approach and asked in effect, what do I know in the basic stuff, and what can I be certain about the nature of reality? He tried to discover metaphysical and truth about what is through epistemology, inquiring about what can be known. So when he was saying that, it approaches into the epistemological detour. That's what they considered the epistemological detour. And so that's what it meant when the large philosophy.
Okay. Go ahead